My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC fight picks and DraftKings lineups run by MMA insiders and professional fighters. Every week, I join Dan Kramer and Nick Newell, two longtime professional fighters that have fought at the highest levels on the planet, as well as Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. So join us every single week for our full fight card breakdowns, our individual fight card breakdowns, our betting guide, and our DraftKings lineups. Next up at UFC 264, we have the main event of the evening. We have Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor, the third, the trilogy. They are 1-1. Dustin Poirier is 4-1 in his last five. Conor McGregor 3-2 in his last five. Both of them losing to Khabib, and Conor also lost to Dustin in the last outing. The last time we broke this fight down was, I think, the very first breakdown we ever did. And the breakdown was spectacular. Our picks were on point. We freaking nailed Dustin Poirier to win that fight, but there was no graphics. It was ugly. Either way, Dustin Poirier, incredibly well-rounded, incredibly tough. And skill for skill, Dustin Poirier is the better fighter, right? He's not as sharp and doesn't have the same power that Conor does in striking, but he's definitely the better wrestler, definitely the better grappler, and I would argue he's tougher. He's more well-rounded. He's tougher. The Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz 2 fight, Conor's super tough as well, but Conor McGregor has that laser accuracy and a ton of power in everything. And if we look at the last fight, Dustin Poirier won that fight, obviously, and he won it with those low leg kicks. But if you watch that fight, I remember I picked Dustin to win. Dan picked Dustin to win. I think you picked Conor, but you're just a giant Conor fan. And watching that first round, I remember being like, damn it, dude, damn it. Conor's lighting Dustin up. I'm going to lose it. He's going to put Dustin away. And then Dustin turned around and won that fight. So with that being said, that was Conor after a long layoff. That was Conor, nice guy Conor, almost didn't know who he wanted to be anymore, Conor. I think Conor wins I think he wins this fight. I'm flipping my pick from the last go around. And if you rewatch that fight, everything Conor threw landed, and it landed well with some legitimate power. Dustin was in trouble more than one time. And I felt like Conor could have stopped him if he really poured it on. So obviously his legs got lit up last fight. He gassed and he got stopped. But I think he has a plan for the leg kicks. I have to imagine he has a plan for the leg kicks this fight. He's still going to have that accuracy. He's still going to have that power. And I think he gets it done this time. I genuinely think Conor McGregor gets it done. This is a pick'em across the board. I don't have either one of my DraftKings lineup because nothing would surprise me. But I do think Conor wins. What are your thoughts, Jake?
Yeah, I went all the way back to one side and then all the way back to the other because leading up to this, and it was more of me just trying to jinx the fight because I was picking Dustin for the last 3 months. I know in our group chats and everything, I was saying, Dustin's going to win, Dustin's going to win, Dustin's going to win. And then leading up to this week, you start watching the promos and Conor sucks me back in again. I rewatched that first fight. You mentioned it. Conor was landing anything and everything that he won in that first round. The issue was, and I think you kind of alluded to it, was he didn't really capitalize on it. He would land it, but I think he was trying to pace himself because we've seen Conor have issues with cardio in the past in these 5-round fights. I think he was trying to pace himself in that fight a little too much. It was the first big fight back against a real competition. I think he was just trying to pace himself too much, so he didn't jump all over Dustin when he could have. This fight, there's two factors involved. Obviously, the calf kicks was a big issue. I think he comes out and blitzes Dustin because he knew he landed everything he wanted to in the first round of that first fight. If you blitz him early and finish early, you don't have to worry about the calf kicks. And then there's this thing leaking online about a picture he posted that he might have staph infection. I said it in the group chat. He has a picture of him flexing on his Instagram. He's got a big thing on his elbow. A lot of people are saying staph. People are saying maybe it's a late stage staph infection. But if you combine everything, if he had staph, if he has staph and he's had issues with training, I've never had staph. You can maybe talk more about people that have had staph before about how it affects your training. You can get really sick from staph from what I understand. If he's had issues and he knows the cardio is not there, I could see Conor coming out even more and blitzing in that first round. And if he does that and really sits on punches, the way he was landing in the first fight, I don't know if that changes. I think that those exchanges happen the way they happen. Conor's that good of striker that if he comes out even more aggressive and just says, screw it, I'm going first round, get this first round knockout, make a show out of it, and I'm going to put this guy on the first round, I think he does it. And I think Conor wins this fight. So I've gone all the way back, and I think Conor does it. I think he does it in the first round. Obviously, it's kind of what everyone's saying, right? That it's either the first round. If it doesn't, that Dustin's probably going to win. That honestly is probably how it's going to play out. I think Conor was able to out-tough Nate Diaz in that 5-round fight because honestly, I don't think Nate Diaz is really that good. He's very tough, but he's really not that good. Dustin will not be able to, or Conor can't outpoint Dustin for 5 rounds. So I think he comes out and just says, screw it, I'm going first round or bust. But I think he gets it done the way he was landing strikes in the first fight. So I have Conor in this fight. And he's in my DraftKings lineup.
Yeah, I didn't touch him for my lineup, but they're both affordable.
Does the staff concern you if that is staff?
If he has it was on his arm and it didn't seem massive.
It was like a $50 size on his elbow. So.
Yeah, Google Kevin Randleman staff and then.
I know there's more staff, but to me it looks pretty bad. And people are saying maybe it's just just a rug burn from rubbing elbows, grappling, or whatever. So
it could be anything. I mean, a real staph infection can be an actual problem. You end up in the hospital on IV antibiotics by the bag.
I did reach out. I sent it to you guys, but I'm letting the chat know as well. I reached out to Conor. I'm waiting to hear back. I think with the time difference, he's probably waking up pretty soon. He'll see my tweet and respond, and then I'll let you guys know what he says.
Yeah, we'll be holding our breath. Either way, let us know your picks here. I'm very curious. I imagine most people are split down the middle. It is a trilogy. We have a stoppage on each side. Obviously, the most recent one is Dustin stopping Conor. The reality is, as we both said, go back, watch that fight. Conor touched up
putting
Dustin.
$5 on Conor by submission.
He touched up Dustin however he wanted to. With that being said, Dustin is tough as hell. He will never quit. He's tough as hell. He'll continue coming forward, and he can take a beating. So if he can survive the early onslaught of Conor, then we'll see more of the same from last time. But I do think Conor will be more prepared, especially for the leg kicks, and I think he will get it done this time. But I didn't put in my DraftKings. I did put a bet. I grabbed Conor by KO, TKO. I got some solid plus odds on that, and I'll take that. I'll take that in a fight like this. You could just go money line on either guy because it's almost even money. But, I'd rather chase some plus because I'm really not positive exactly what's going to happen. But I do like the less on Monkey Knife Fight. I think it's an early fight, and I don't think it's a wild barrage. I think Conor's going to come out, touch him up. Dustin will fire back. 85 strikes, 70 strikes. That's third round, right? That's a couple of rounds. I don't think it's going that far. I think we're looking at 2 rounds, maybe middle of the third, and that's the end of it. So I'm going less here. As a fan, a 5-round war would be awesome. I just don't see that happening. So I'm going less. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll go less.
Yeah. So I agree with that. Either way, guys, that's our full card breakdown. Thank you for watching. Go to wewantpicks.com/bets. After you sign up, let us know, and we will Venmo you or Cash App you $20 as a thank you, and then go on and place your bets. For Monkey Knife Fight, go to playmkf.com/wewantpicks. Use promo code WWP, and they will instantly match your deposit. I say this all the time. Deposit $20 if you're nervous. Take the free 20. Only play with the free 20. Leave the real money there and withdraw it if you want. And then, of course, go to wewantpicks.com. We have a store, all sorts of fancy stuff. Thank you very much for the watch, and let us know in the comments your picks, your plays. Thank you very much.